we doing? Thank you all so much for joining me. I originally was going to make this live a reality TV chat live where we talk about all the reality TV shows, but Bachelor in Paradise pissed me off so much. I was just like, I just have to do a separate video because I cannot believe the way this show played in everybody's faces, especially Bailey and especially Brian. Every second of this show, I was annoyed, and I cannot believe that they had me fighting for Brian the way I was. And it seems like the entire fan base feels the same way because a lot of people online have just been like, what is happening here? Even Wells was just like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what has happened on this show, but it shows what happens when there isn't like a leader. Like, this show has now become Lord of the Flies, where money has just been involved. So now everybody has shown how awful they are. And it's so disappointing. And I hate the fact that Bachelor in Paradise is doing like these new twists or whatever, trying to make Bachelor in Paradise absolutely everything that it's not. Like, Bachelor in Paradise is supposed to be an authentic reality TV show where people come on this show to find love. I think in the last few years, it's become about, people getting Instagram famous and becoming influencers. I don't know whose season it was. I think it was Colton's season. Yeah, I think Colton's season poisoned Bachelor in Paradise, and it just all became about becoming an influencer. Now we got Bachelor in Paradise being turned into like Love Island on crack with a dash of Survivor. And I'm like, they need to find their identity again. Because on Bachelor in Paradise, this was supposed to be the show where people within Bachelor Nation, the cast within Bachelor Nation, come on this show hoping to meet people that they have been interested in but have not been able to meet. Like, we're not getting any engagements out of this season. That's what we're used to. Like, we're used to like getting an engagement or a hard launch of like a real couple that will get married down the line or have children or find the next bachelor or bachelorette. We're not finding it in this dumpster fire. Everybody's terrible. So what's the point? You've introduced this money in a really difficult time right now in America, especially financially. You've introduced all of this money. So now everybody is playing the game. And the game of this show was supposed to be love. It's not Bachelor in Paradise anymore. Oh, God. I don't know how long I can stick with this show. Oh, Mama Star is traveling. So that's the only reason why we're not doing this together. She really wanted to be here, but she's in a different time zone. And we just couldn't work it out. That's why I waited so long, because I was trying to work it out with her, but we just couldn't do it. And I did want her to share her opinions. But she will be here next Monday. So we will recap this episode, just Mama Star's thoughts, and then we'll hop into the next episode, which is probably going to be equally as awful. I'm just like, what is going on with this show, man? I'm so disappointed. Let's get into it. First of all, I am so concerned for Bailey. I want her off of that show. So we start off this episode with a compatibility game where they've been doing compatibility games throughout the whole season. So I think that this is just a theme. So every episode, we're going to have some compatibility game where it's basically do you know your partner? And I just feel like everybody's going to fail this, and it's going to be random couples winning. And I guess because we have random people winning, people won't pick up on the fact that the show is absolutely rigging the game. I'll get into that later. But we have this compatibility challenge, and a lot of people aren't compatible. Shocker. They've only been there 8 days, and a lot of these people are not having enough time to connect. So of course they all don't know anything about each other. They're playing Russian roulette at this point. It's a guessing game. They don't know each other. It's too early. Like the old Bachelor in Paradise, there was time. There was relationship building. You're spending the whole day on the beach, either getting drunk or laying down on the shore, just talking and building connections. You don't have these weird challenges and now this the $500,000 on a list on a line. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So the people who end up winning the compatibility challenge is Leia and Jonathan, two people who absolutely hate each other at that point. So of course it was a dud, and I felt like the show rigged the game to keep Jonathan there, because no way that Jonathan and Leia knew the most about each other. Now I will say they are friends in real life, and Leia and Jonathan both stated that, but they weren't friends enough to be on the same page about their relationship. So I don't think that they were such great friends that they knew so much about each other. I think the show rigged the game because they do not want to get rid of Jonathan. I think the show brought the Goldens on the show for, for some kind of equality and to let people know, oh, we're giving the Goldens a shot, but not really keep them on the show because they're having health challenges, because this show is really applying a lot of pressure. And I think moving forward, they're going to get more physical challenges. And I think they're rigging the game to get rid of the Goldens so that they can go into the more physical challenges and not have liabilities or put themselves in a position where they're going to be sued. Because I just did not buy that Leia and Jonathan knew the most about each other. I just didn't buy it. And I also think that they were rigging this challenge for, what is her name? She that skinny white girl with that sister name? Alicia. I think they were also rigging the game so that she could meet up with Dale, because she was absolutely expecting Dale to be her secret admirer match, because she's still gunning for him. And we have not seen the end of that relationship, because later in the season, they're going to introduce this new twist where if you want to recouple, you can recouple. And I think that Kat and Dale are going to get into another fight, and Alicia is going to be like, yeah, now it's my time to shine, because she's going to quickly get annoyed with Sean, because Sean is going to go after Kat. It's going to create this money, then created so much drama and created so much enemies. But I think eventually Alicia will be able to get to Dale, which is her ultimate goal. So we have one part of the challenge, which is the compatibility. And the compatibility challenge, Leia and Jonathan win. Great. Leia and Jonathan win. So with them winning, Jonathan gets to be saved for another week or another episode or whatever. He has immunity, so he cannot be eliminated. Then we have the secret rendezvous, where it's just like if you match with somebody, they come in, and if you want to explore the relationship, you can explore the relationship and nobody would know about it because it's secret, which was not true. Because one guy was trying to do a secret rendezvous and everybody knew. So I was thinking that, I'm like, how are they going to do a secret rendezvous? Like, people are going to know if two people are missing. It didn't make sense. It was not well thought out. I think they just created that to create drama. And congratulations, because it absolutely did. So with the secret rendezvous part of the challenge, Bailey and Brian, they matched. So because they matched and they had a bit more compatibility, they were allowed to come into like the middle of where this challenge was. It's like this round circle, and everybody had on headphones so you couldn't hear. So because Bailey and Brian matched, they had the most compatible questions at that point, and the challenge, whatever, said that these two were compatible, so maybe they should meet up. I think this was rigged. I think it was rigged for Alicia, and I think the game was rigged for Bailey and Brian. And why I think it was rigged, because this gave Brian an opportunity to finally talk to Bailey without everybody knowing. So Brian and Bailey get in front of each other, and Bailey's just like, oh no, we're friends. I'm fine where I'm at, and I know you're fine where you're at. But Brian is just like, I do want to talk to you. And Bailey was just like, what? That's a little weird. She's thinking that he's trying to push up on her, so she completely rejects him, and Brian is feeling like a little defeated, because at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, Bailey is his friend. I don't think that Brian is doing this for strategy. I honestly think that Bailey is his friend, and he doesn't like how Jeremy is treating her. He also could have some ulterior motives and be attracted to her as well, and be like that guy friend who is yearning for this woman, who sees this woman making the dumbest choices with men, and in his mind, he's just like, I would never treat you like that. That could be it as well. But I got to give it to the dude, because before money was even introduced, he was talking about Jeremy and how terrible he treated Bailey. He didn't like it from jump. The only person, mind you, that had a problem with how Jeremy was treating Bailey. So he wants to meet with her. Bailey doesn't want to meet. She feels uncomfortable. Let's get into Bailey for a minute because I'm concerned. I'm concerned for little mama. She concerns. She's so sweet. She's so pretty. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I hate to say it, but at least for this season, my God, today she is the worst game player I've ever seen on any type of reality TV show. You know what? She's second to Mr. Gary because Mr. Gary was a mess. He just did not know how to play the game. But Bailey is up there. So Brian is trying to meet with her. She thinks that it's something else. So she backs away. And I get that she thought that, but I mean, let the man speak. She's not even trying to like let him explain to her whatever. She just immediately turned off from it. So Brian writes her a letter. He's just like, listen, let's talk. I need to talk to you. It was nothing in the letter was like salacious or sexy or him trying to get with her and saying, you need a better man. He said, I need to talk to you. She interpreted it as, oh, he wants me. She's staying with Parisia. They're in the same room. Also, let me say this. Stick a pin in that real quick. This show had enough money to move the entire cast to Costa Rica, rent out an entire resort to film this show, and put down a $500,000 prize. There's no way they did not have money to let everybody have their own rooms. Why are these grown adults and Goldens? Why are they sharing rooms? Why are these people sharing rooms? I could not believe that Miss Kathy was sharing a room. I said, this woman is in her 70s. Why is she sharing this grown woman? Why is she sharing a room? So anyway, Bailey and Parisia are in the same dorm because those resort rooms, it's giving dorms. Why in the hell is the sink next to the bed? It's giving prison. Anyway, so Bailey comes in. She's just like, oh, somebody wanted to talk to me, but I know I'm uncomfortable. And Parisia's just like, who is it? What was it, Brian? And she's like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say. No, Parisia's just like, just tell me if it's Brian. Like the fact that you're not saying who it is makes me believe that it's Brian, because if it wasn't him, you would just say, oh, it's not Brian. So tell me who it is. And Bailey's just like, no, I can't do it. It's not right. I'm not going to say anything until I talk to Jeremy first. I'm telling you, this young lady has a trad wife spirit on her, and I hope her mother is a praying woman and she can break it off of this child, because she is headed for disaster. It's been 8 days and she has fully submitted to this jerk of a man called Jeremy. She has missed every red flag. Even if they're waving her in her face, she's missed everything. And in 8 days, he got her completely submitted to him. This is scary. So anyway, she goes to talk to Jeremy, and she tells Jeremy that Brian wants to meet with her in a rendezvous. And Brian is just like, why would he want to do that? She's just like, I don't know, but I'm not gonna do it. And I think we should send him home. So she don't know what the man wants, but she in her mind has come up with the conclusion that he not only does Brian want to be with her, he is moving so foul, she wants to remove him from the show. How do we even get there, Bailey? So Jeremy don't care. He sends her off. She's walking around and she's telling everybody who want to listen what's going on with Brian. So while she's sitting down talking to the girls, Brian comes over and she's just like, do you just finally want to chat? And he's like, yeah, let's chat. And he was just like, I wanted to meet with you. So, I don't know what was going on, but I really, really wanted to meet and talk to you. But before this, she had already, Parisia had already talked to Brian, because everybody was talking about what was going on now, because Bailey done told everybody who wanted to listen what was happening. So Parisia is just like, wait, do you want to be with her? Like, what's going on? So she's confused, because the way Bailey made it seem was that Brian wanted her. So Parisia's just like, wait, do you want her? Let me know now. And he's just like, no, she's my friend. I want to tell her what's going on in her coupling. So Parisia meets with Bailey, and she's just like, it's not that, just hear him out. So Brian and Bailey finally sit down, and Brian tells Bailey everything. And here's the kicker: Bailey done already heard some stuff. So she done already heard a little something from somebody, and it comes out that everybody knows that Jeremy does not want Bailey. And she has been hearing little pieces of whatever, but nobody has told her the full truth. She's just hearing things, and nobody is making any of the sentences or any of the topics, which is her, clear. So she sits down with Brian, and she's just like, so what did you hear? Because I've been hearing some stuff, but let me know, because I'm planning my life with this man. And if he really does not want me, I would want to know. I don't want to watch the show back and know that he's been playing me the whole time. And so Brian tells her everything. Brian tells her that he called Susie. Brian tells her that Jeremy was saying that as soon as this show is over, he's going to meet with Susie, and he is going to propose to her. So Bailey just starts breaking down. She's not mad at Brian. She's disappointed in herself because she wanted to get rid of him, and she didn't want to hear what he had to say. And she was just like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, no, it's fine. And she just starts wailing and travailing. And Brian is just like, it's okay, it's okay. She's like, no, it's not okay. I just feel so stupid. And she just breaks down crying, right? She's just like, I want to go home. Almost 30 years old, by the way, just wailing like a toddler. No shade, but it's just like, as a woman, especially as a Black woman, mama, you got to tighten up. You got to tighten up, because everybody and their mama on this show is taking advantage of you because you are going through life as this infant. You got to tighten up. This is still a game show where $500,000 is on the line. And I know you don't care about the money. If you don't care about the money, then leave. Stop wasting everybody's time on this show, because Bachelor in Paradise is no longer about finding the love of your life. It is about winning this $500K. So she's wailing, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. While she's wailing, we get a confessional. Where's she at? We get a confessional with little Miss Alex, who's just like, oh, Jeremy is such a great friend of mine. I said, since when? When did you and Jeremy become such great friends? And she's just like, I know it seems weird that I didn't say anything to her and that none of the other women said anything, but, we don't want to get involved in anybody's relationship. And he is my, really, really good friend. And I felt like I should say something. Am I going to be a girl's girl, or am I going to be a really good friend to Jeremy? So I was just disappointed. I know I might look bad, but, that's just where my head is. Stop that lying. I like Alex and Andrew. I think they're a cute little couple, but Alex, tell the truth and shame the devil. You didn't tell Bailey because you wanted her to stay in that terrible relationship with Jeremy, because you have an issue that Andrew chose her first. Every time Bailey gets a second to let Andrew know that she did not like that he chose her second, I don't like being anybody's sloppy second. Every time she gets an opportunity, she lets him know that. So you not telling Bailey what Jeremy said about her had nothing to do with you being Jeremy's good friend. It had everything to do with the fact that you want to keep Bailey occupied because you're afraid if she ever gets single, the man that you want, who wanted her first, might change his mind about you. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. The only friend that Bailey has on this show is Brian. Them women ain't worth change for a quarter, because apparently they all knew and said nothing because they playing the game. Bailey isn't. So anyway, Bailey then runs to Jeremy, crying. She goes in her room. She's crying. She's like, Jeremy, can we talk? Jeremy sleep. She says, did you call Susie? Jeremy was like this. He was like, and as soon as he heard Susie, he went, oh, he knew he was busted. He knew he was caught. But thankfully, he got Bailey. So she's not going anywhere, and she's not going to do anything. The women on these reality TV shows scare me. The way these men have them, I am very, very, very alarmed. I am scared. So she tells him everything that she found out. And he's like, who told her? Who told you? And she's just like, it's not important right now. I want to know, do you want Susan? He was just like, well, I did want her. I did call her, but I want to work these things out with you. I want to be with you. She's just like, are you sure? Are you sure? He's just like, yeah, I'm sure. He hugs her. She kisses him. And then she runs back to her room and she starts fake packing. Alex, who was best friends with Jeremy apparently, runs in and she's just like, oh no, Bailey's, come on, sweetie, don't leave. I thought Jeremy was your best friend. Why aren't you running to him? Why are you running to Bailey now, trying to comfort her? And just like, oh no, you don't leave it. Bailey's like, I just want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. So Alex trying to comfort her and calm her down. Then I guess production told her to leave. She walks away. Alex, she walks away and she's just like, oh, I feel like I'm being a terrible friend by leaving her there. You made it clear that you were not Bailey's friend, that Jeremy was your friend. So now all of a sudden you're Bailey's friend? Tell the truth. You want her to stay with that douchebag because you're intimidated by a single Bailey if Andrew is still in the room. They are cutthroat on this show. So Bailey's fake packing, acting like she's going to go. Jeremy's walking around confused. Everybody's trying to find out who told Bailey. I cannot believe this turned into who told Bailey that Jeremy didn't want her and that it didn't turn into, I cannot believe that Jeremy said those things and treated Bailey like that. I was absolutely confused. I was absolutely floored watching everybody make Jeremy the victim. I was gagged. I was just like, listen, Brian got a bad attitude. He's nasty. I don't like the way he talks to Bariza. He's not my friend. He's not my favorite, right? But he's right. He's right. Why are y'all going so hard at this guy to try to make him the bad guy and Jeremy the victim? Dale is just like, I wonder who said something. You know, I know it wouldn't be you, Brian, because of your integrity. Like, I know you wouldn't have said that. Let's not talk about integrity. You're laying up with a woman you don't really want. You're not going to be with that woman after this show. You really want Alicia, or you want anything white and submissive on that show, because you want to have your cake and eat it too. You done got stuck with Crazy Cat, who you can't break up with and just string along. So you're stuck in the situation. If we tell the truth and shame the devil, you're the same thing as Jeremy. You just haven't been caught yet. So now Dale him and Kat are talking about this situation now. Nobody's checked on Bailey. Everybody cares so much that Brian got involved in Bailey and Jeremy's relationship, but ain't nobody checked on Bailey. But everybody's talking about her, acting like they're defending her by going after Brian. This was all so weird. I was just floored. I was floored by everything. I'm like, wait, hold on. Why is Jeremy the victim? He's the bad guy. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's like, oh, Jeremy is not good. Like, this isn't right what Jeremy did. Not even the women. But you know why nobody say anything or try to make or try to put the right pressure on Jeremy, because he is the villain here, not the victim. They made him the victim because everybody already knew. Everybody knew that he didn't want her. Jeremy was telling everybody. Everybody knew, and they sat in that woman's face and smiled in her face. And then Alex tries to convince her successfully that Jeremy is still a good guy. And that you need to make this relationship work. Oh, he said those things, but he's trying now. He's a different person. Where? He's the same old douchebag. There's nothing different. But Alex, who is now says that she's Bailey's friend, is trying to convince her to stay with Jeremy, even though you knew that he didn't want her, and you even told him you need to let her know. You need to let her know. So why are you now convincing her to stay with him? Bailey, I can't believe you got so many ops. First of all, I can't believe you have an op. And I cannot believe you have so many ops on this show. Like, this is crazy. I hope they have a reunion. I hope they have a reunion because I am very concerned. Like, why are they doing this to her? The whole cast. Why are they treating her like this? I am floored. I was floored watching this. And then with Bailey, very concerned, right? Bailey moves. Bailey's an adult woman. And she moves like, remember, I was floored when I found out she was 28. I thought she was 23. She acts very, very beneath her age. And I'm sorry, as a Black woman, you cannot be in this world with no discernment. It's just not going to work for you. You got to tap in. You got to tap into your womanly wisdom, your ancestral wisdom. You have got to tap in, and you got to, unfortunately, you got to grow up fast and now, because the way you are being played and manipulated and mistreated by everyone on this show except for Brian, and you can't clock it. The one person who was trying to protect you, let me bring her up here because I'm preaching to you, Bailey. The one person that was trying to protect you, you were trying to get him off the show. That's a lack of discernment. And it's not just because we can see a different point of view. Jeremy's a terrible person. Within the first day of you linking up with this guy, he had you in tears. He broke you down to nothing, to the point where now he has you groveling at his feet. The show didn't need to show us that. The behind the scenes. We saw how he treated you to your face. And that's why I'm so concerned for her, because I'm just like, if you can't see this, and even after you were told about what he said about you and what he actually thought and who he actually wanted, you still decided to go back to him. You have little to no discernment. It's very scary, because I'm looking at this young lady, this beautiful young lady, and I'm just like, you are a bad guy's dream. A bad guy's dream. And I was thinking about her mom the whole time. I'm like, I hope you're praying for your daughter. I hope, like, while you're watching this show with her, you're pouring into her, because I am very concerned, because a terrible man would see Bailey and be like, that's my next target. That's my next victim. A woman that will take a punishing from a man and still go after him. Extremely concerned for this young lady. And I also know that she is also operating out of mourning, because she lost her father. So I can see that she's trying to replace that fatherly and masculine energy with somebody, and she found it in Jeremy. And the problem is she's seeking, and because she's seeking through mourning, she'll take anything. She'll take anything to fill that void. I want her to be out of the dating pool for some time. I want her to heal, get to a healthy point in mourning her father. And I want her to get into therapy, because I'm very concerned. She found out everything that Jeremy said about her. Cried, broke down, felt bad, said that she was going to leave. And then the next morning, sat down and talked to him. It was just like, oh, I may leave. I packed my bags, but I needed to talk to you. All he said was, I want you. He didn't apologize for his behavior. Didn't say that he wasn't going to meet with Susie after this, or still didn't want to pursue her. She forgave him, took him back, and kissed that man. And for the remainder of the episode, she was booed up with him, kissing on him, acting like nothing ever happened. That's scary, mamas. That's scary. He has not yet showed you that he's a good person. Like, I will say this about Jeremy. He never had to put on a mask. He presented himself as a beast. And she bowed at his feet. Oh, girl, I'm concerned, mamas. I wish she would have packed them bags and went home. I wish she would have packed them bags and went home. Shout out to Brian. because sometimes the worst person you know makes a valid point. This man has been protecting Bailey since day one, standing 10 toes down for her when nobody else was. Not the women, not the black people on the show. Nobody else had her back but Brian. The only one. The only one. And the fact that this show, the cast is trying to make him a villain, and it's being led by Dale. Because Dale and Jeremy are the same thing. Because Dale don't like Kat and don't want to be with her. So he said the same thing that Jeremy said or worse. So he's trying to get rid of Brian because his thing is Brian has been in them conversations as well when I just said some stuff about Kat. And if he's going around telling the women that we're coupled up with what we've said about him, then he needs to be gone. Because if Kat ever heard what I had to say about her, it would have been a problem. You see how he tried to do Jonathan when Jonathan was trying to tell Kat what Dale was saying about her. So Dale is just like, oh, I got to get her out of here. And Kat is such a pick-me, she's going along with it. Because why the hell you got a problem with Brian? She keeps on talking to Bailey. Well, who said it? Who said it? And then in her confessional, she's just like, oh, we know Brian said it. And when she said that I said, oh, Dale is putting you up to this foolishness because he's making you work the girls so that you could get the women to vote against Brian. But what Kat don't realize is that the girls don't like her either. They don't like you or Bailey, apparently. So Kat is now going around talking about Brian while Dale is going around talking about Brian. Parisia is stressed out. Brian is turning red because he's lying and saying that he hasn't talked to Bailey and Bailey is protecting him. But because Kat and Dale won't let up, he finally has to say something. So he pulls Jeremy aside and tells him, and Jeremy's just like, well, I don't know why you would have done that. And he's just like, well, she asked me and I had to tell her. Like, I wouldn't have told her, I wouldn't have told her had she not asked me, but she asked me. So I had to say something. And Jeremy's just like, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. You're busted. So you're on your humble right now. Stay there. So while Brian is talking to Jeremy, here go Andrew and his baby teeth. Here he go. Oh, why would he even say anything like that? That doesn't make any sense. So then Dale sits down and then Brian sits down. And he's just like, so what happened? And Brian tells him that, he did say something, but it wasn't as bad as everybody's making it. And Andrew's just like, why would you get in anybody's relationship? Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? Like, you should have just told Jeremy first. Like, you're messing up bro code. Bro code? The dude don't like the girl. And he's her friend. Brian is not Jeremy's friend. He's friends with Bailey. And he said from jump, he don't like how that dude treats her. Like, you don't talk to the dude's girl, you talk to the dude. Shout out to Wells, because Wells heard everything. He's the bartender, so everybody tells him their business. Wells is just like, I feel like I'm going insane. Because how has everybody taken the focus off of Jeremy and applied it to Brian? What did Brian do? Wells was like, Brian should be the one getting awards and praise because he told Bailey the truth. Everybody knew. And then Wells said, especially the women. Everybody knew that Jeremy didn't want her. And Brian was the only one. And then Wells is just like, and Andrew and the guys are talking about bro code. This isn't bro code. This is douchebag code. I said, thank you, Jesus. Somebody on that island got sense because nobody else does. Poor Brian. He's sweating and stressed out the entire time because Dale goes up to him. He's just like, I don't know, buddy. You shouldn't have got involved in that. I just want to tell you, you might be going home. And Brian is sweating because he did the right thing. And then Kat is just like, yeah, he has to go because he's putting it on the women. Girl, shut up. You need to worry about the enemy you sleeping with. Because Dale is worse than Jeremy. Worse. So anyway, we get to the rose ceremony. Joe Nathan, he has immunity. He has immunity, so he gets to go first because he can't be eliminated. He picks Miss Leia. Do I have her picture? I thought I had Leia's picture. Andrew, where's Leia? Bailey. Oh, I don't have Leia's picture, but he picks Leia, and they have just decided to be in a friendship coupling because Jonathan was just like, he's not into her like that. She's a friend. And Leia's just like, I'm fine. I don't understand. While Jonathan doesn't realize me even trying to like him is doing him a favor, but I'll be his friend. So now these two are in a friendship coupling. Sean, he picks Alicia. He's really happy with her. Poor guy doesn't realize Alicia is fantasizing about Dale every night. Um, Jess and Spencer, they pick each other. They probably will be going home because they're the strongest couple there. Of course, Kat picks Dale. Then we have who is this? Alex and Andrew. They remain coupled up. Where is he? I know I had Andrew. Where I cannot find what StreamYard has been pissing me off. They have just anyway. I'm just going to say it. They have just like reorganized everything, and I can't find anything. So Alex and Andrew pick each other. Bailey and Jeremy, they pick each other, and then it comes down to one golden and one youthful bachelor person, and it comes down to Miss Faith and Mr. Kim, who's been having heart palpitations. I'm telling you, the show is rigging the votes so that they can get rid of the Goldens because they don't want to have a dead Golden on their hands. Like they don't want that. They don't want that responsibility. I'm telling you, Miss Kathy was able to stay in this game because everybody likes her, and Mr. Keith, he was able to stay because everybody likes Miss Kathy. They're sick of Mr. Keith because he got he talked too much. They thought Mr. Gary talked too much, but Mr. Keith talked it even more. So Miss Kathy and Mr. Keith, they end up being picked over Miss Faith and Mr. Kim. They both end up going home because everybody thinks that, they're a fake relationship. Miss Kathy does not like Mr. Kim. She's just like, he's on everybody. She's just like, I do not want a guy that every woman he's on. I want somebody who just wants me for me. And I respect it, but I'm just like, girl, I cannot believe it. She does not like him. She was talking to, I think it was Andrew and Alex. And she was just like, do y'all believe? No, she was talking to Dale and Kat. And she was just like, do y'all think that any of this is real? Talking about Mr. Kim and Miss Faith and how he's just doing too much and he's just too aggressive. And he was just giving her a little massage. But Miss Kathy was just like, ugh, he's doing too much. Because I guess he does that to all the ladies, but that's his little signature move. Like, let him rock. Why are you hating on him? So anyway, Miss Kathy and Mr. Keith, they end up staying because the younger bachelorettes really like them and they do not see that couple as competition. And then it's down to Miss Leslie, Miss Faith, and Mr. Kim, and Brian and Parisia. And Brian ends up being saved through all of the votes that were put out prior. And everybody was a little bit gagged. And Brian says the female vote really helped me. So I think a lot of the women voted for him, or the show made sure that Brian stayed because I think they're going to get rid of the Goldens first. Then they're going to turn the show up a notch and it's going to get a bit more spicy. I think next episode, Sean and Kat are going to get into it because the game is getting a bit more cutthroat now at this point. And I don't know how to feel about it because this is not Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. They're trying to go back to Bachelor Pad, but they need to remember why Bachelor Pad was canceled in the first place. The North remembers, child. The North remembers. But I just want to say this about this show and where it's going. I think it's going to be, I think this show is going to go to a very bad place. A lot of money is involved. And I think that people I don't know if they're going to show their true colors, but I think they're going to show the worst sides of themselves. And I don't know if the show is going to be able to recover from this, to be able to recover from how awful it's going to get, because Bachelor in Paradise is supposed to be a lighthearted show. They're going way too dark, way too dark. And I really hope they have a reunion because Brian needs to be vindicated and Bailey needs to confront everybody because nobody except for Brian has that girl's back in that villa. And you were acting like you're in a sisterhood. Girl, you are in a white sorority in the South, and you are a black girl that's trying to desegregate the sorority. That's where you're at right now. That there is no sisterhood. Those women are not your friend, especially Alex. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this episode. What do you guys have to say? Let's get into it. Hey, Megan. Thank you for being here. Um, hey, Spency. Spency said, hey, Nikki and Star fam, everyone is so fake. I feel bad for Bailey. Me too. Megan also says, I can't believe I was actually siding with Brian last night. I repeat, the contestants made me side with Brian last night. Yep. I was gagged. I was gagged. E for Empathy said, Brian grosses me out and is out of line sometimes, but he was absolutely right. I hate that. Yep. Megan said, I just can't believe no one thought to make sure Bailey knew the truth. Everyone, and I mean everyone, looked bad last night. They sure did. E for Empathy said, I was especially shocked by Spencer because he seemed like a good dude. Apparently not. Also shocked by the ladies that money is changing Spencer. Spencer was such a cool guy, but now Spencer knows that him and Jess are on the chopping block because they're such a strong couple. He's clocking in and playing the game. Hey, Tiffany, thank you for being here. Megan said Alex was her whole roommate and didn't say squat. Nope, because apparently Jeremy's her best friend. Since when? Hey, Simply Simone, thank you for being here. Clarissa said, hello all. I just watched the episode today. I was too disgusted. Felt like the Twilight Zone. Yep. I was with Wells. I felt like I was going insane watching it. I'm like, I cannot believe that Jeremy is the victim. How? Oh, thank you so much, Spency. Happy Tuesday. I can't believe it's Tuesday. It feels like a Thursday. Megan said Bachelor in Paradise needs a movie night because these contestants are trying to play the viewers. Roll the footage. They absolutely do. Hi, Angela. Thank you for being here. E for Empathy said, let's remember to like and share the video, fam. Nikki always comes with straight facts. Thank you so much. E for Empathy said, the pace of this show is definitely off. I'm new to this show and it definitely feels so rushed. It's like a Frankenstein reality TV show. They just pull parts from different reality TV shows and try to fit their old show into this new jumbled format, and it's not working. It's not working. Spency said Jeremy's an awful person. Also, Jeremy looks awful as well. Okay. I'm sorry. The way he treated Bailey was so awful, it makes me uncomfortable. And the fact that she can't see it, that makes me even more uncomfortable. I do too. We literally just watch people fall in love, fall out of love. Like, it's not supposed to be a negative show, and it's going very dark. Drewski said, girl, I know it's off topic, but a lien on the house? Oh, what? What's going on, oh, Lord? What's going on? Well, I'm doing a reality TV, a Bravo chat. No, a reality TV chat tomorrow. So we can talk about it then. My God, today. Megan said production probably saw the success of Love is Blind and figured they needed to change Bachelor in Paradise. Oh, I think Love is Blind starts this week. Oh, God. However, they took the essence and the authenticity away from the show. They sure did. Even if they said, I agree, I don't think Brian is purely being messy at all. Not at all. The minute he heard Jeremy say that he wanted Susie, and this is even before he heard Jeremy say that, he didn't like how Jeremy was making Bailey cry. He'd been standing up for her. Spency said, Alex really annoyed me. I think everyone was projecting on Brian because they felt guilty for not telling her. They absolutely were. Thank you, CM. Megan said a lot of the cast felt it was up to Jeremy to tell Bailey. However, he wasn't going to tell her. So anyone who knew should have told her or pushed Jeremy to do it. Yep. But they didn't because they didn't care. Like, Alex is just like, oh, you should let her know. You should let her know. You are sharing a room with this girl, sleeping beside her every night, probably sharing all kinds of stories, braiding each other's hair. And you knew her man didn't want her. Susan says, did you see that they posted a cut scene of Jeremy and Bailey eating ice cream and he apologized for the phone call and then everything is all happy again? Well, this is the thing. A woman like Bailey is a guy like Jeremy's perfect victim. Perfect victim. He can be awful and give her a BS apology and she'll forgive. Because unfortunately for some women like Bailey, bad love is better than no love at all. She was crying, fake packing her little carry-on luggage, and she was just like, why does everybody get a happy ending but me? And that's what she's looking for. She's looking for a happy ending. She's looking for a fairy tale relationship instead of allowing herself to meet the right person. And that is the problem with so many women. They fall in love with the idea of a lifestyle that no matter who the person is, they will make that person fit into that dream. And that is not how it should be. You should not get married because the clock is ticking and you feel like, it's time. Oh, I'm turning 30. It's time for me to get married. That is not a reason to get married. You get married, that means you and the man that you were with decide to go into a legally binding contract with wherever you live's government. That's what that is. It's not a piece of paper that says that your love is more special than it was before. It's just a contract that you go in with the government and you do it in front of your family and you charge them to hold you accountable in this relationship. That's all that is. It is a contract. But so many women are just like, I'm turning 30. It's time for me to get married. And any man that is there, they'll just take it. They'll look past every red flag because they're so focused on their age, or they're so focused on the fact that, I need to do this now. This is what I've always wanted. So many women have their wedding planned out, not even thinking about the man. As much as you think about that wedding, you should think about that man. Like, it shouldn't be like anybody fitting into the dream. But that's what's happening. Bailey is bypassing every red flag because she wants to have her fairy tale ending. Not, I met somebody who I really like and I want to make this relationship work. I want to see what happens. Oh, you know what? This relationship is going really well. I want to take the next step. I took the next step and everything is doing really great. We had a little, disagreement about dishes, but we were able to talk through it. And I learned more about him. He learned more about me. I really like this guy. That's how it's supposed to be. Not, I'm 28. It's time to start looking. Oh, my biological clock is ticking. Well, tell her to shut the hell up. Because you're going to listen to that clock, lay down with a dummy, and end up raising that baby by yourself. Stop that. Get married because it's the best decision for you. Screw that man. It's the best decision for you. Don't let him shoot up the club unless you are 1000% sure. Any doubt you have, take your pills before laying down with that dude. But she's a guy likes Jeremy's perfect victim. Perfect victim. Perfect trad wife. Spency said Jeremy's an awful person. Oh, got that read. Megan said this situation should be mute because it happened early in the season. However, Jeremy is still talking about Susie. That's the issue. 8 days in, girl. Timo said Andrew being a dummy, still defending the cast actions to the point where Bailey had to comment on her Instagram telling Andrew to drop because the whole situation is hurtful. Oh, they're going at it. Oh God, this is a mess. We need a reunion. Spency said Alex bothers me so bad. She's so fake. I really like Alex. I didn't like her this episode. I didn't like her actions this episode. Timos, and she even said it. She said, I'm probably going to look like a bad person. Oh, you know. Oh, you know. You know. Ethan Empathy said, hey y'all, let's like and share the video for our girl Nikki. It's an easy way to help Nikki grow the Star fam. Thank you so much. Timo said, but sadly, I think Bailey is still with Jeremy based on her comment on his post. Plus, she just got back from Portugal, and he posted a cryptic post from there as well. If she's with them, listen, if she likes it, I hate it. Susan said, I saw Jeremy's Instagram post saying they aren't showing the full story. And then Bailey comments and says that she's happy she chose him as her partner. She's defending him online. What can you do? Her brain is fully developed. Jennifer says, Jeremy reminds me of Connor physically, and even his voice reminds me of Connor from Love Island. They're both so irritating. Oh my God, I can see it. I can see it. Eva Empathy said, I cannot stand this for Bailey. I wish she would just stand up. Me too. Me too. Megan said, if Jeremy and Bailey are together, they are going to get a rude awakening at the reunion because most of the viewers don't like Jeremy. I hope we get one. Angela said, exactly about Dell. Yes, nobody checked on her, not even Jeremy. Nope. Jeremy went back to bed. Smithy said they need a reunion where they allow the audience to comment. Hopefully, please don't give the reunion to Jesse. He will not ask a damn thing. We'll probably have to sit through 70 commercials. Megan said Jeremy didn't even tell her the whole truth. Yeah, he still lied. He still lied. Even after being confronted, he left out pursuing Susie post-show and proposing to her unless he told her and we didn't see it. He didn't tell her at all, child. Even Empathy said, Nikki, you're so right. I'm worried about some of these young women. I wish they knew their power. This is the season we're in. It is really scary. Really scary. I don't think so. From the comments, I think she's still with that dude. Hey, Kaylee, thank you for being here. Kaylee said, I don't watch the Bachelor franchise, but wanted to stop in and say what's up. Thank you so much. Stop in with the like. Megan said, I don't understand why everyone was so quick to tell Leah about how Jonathan was playing her, but didn't say squat about Jeremy playing Bailey, which is what I'm saying. I'm like, Bailey, what's going on? How you got all these ops in the house, in the villa? What happened? What happened? Eva Empathy said, I love Wells for that. I really did. I needed someone to say it on the show. I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did. And even if they put that Wells commentary in at the end because they saw how everybody was saying, why didn't anybody protect Bailey? I don't care. It needed to be said. Megan said, well said, everything that I was thinking last night because I thought I was watching another show and based on the other cast members' actions. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Hey, Alex, you're right on time. Thank you for being here. Oh God, he does. He does. Oh, there's going to be a reunion. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. Susan said, Andrew in an interview said that Sean is going to become the worst villain in Bachelor history. Over him? Mr. Brocode? Loser. Hey, Bianca. Thank you for being. Oh, wait. Yeah, I got that. Thank you for being here, Bianca. Thank you so much. Megan said, if I was Bailey, the only person I tell any secrets to is one of the birds. Yep. She immediately just started talking. I'm like, she's a terrible game player. Maya Nicole TV, hey, says, I hate it when women make me side with the man. And even worse, a terrible man. They were all out of line. Wells was the only one who had some sense. I need Bailey to get it together. Same. Eva Empathy said, yes, Nikki, marriage is a contract and you can't just sign it with literally anyone. Nope, you cannot. It is not a game. It is not a game. Especially as a woman, you are signing up for indentured servitude. You better be ready. Jennifer said, Bailey and Jeremy's relationship reminds me of Daniel and Lucy. Oh my God, yes! And it'd be terrible men. Terrible men that these women are like bowing to. What is going on in their lives, child? Ooh, hey, Mama Star, thank you. Oh, you're calling me? Oh, do you wanna say anything? Did you watch the episode? Oh Lord, let me call Mama Star. Mama Star is calling you. I see it, Mom. I'm calling. Hey, Mama.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being here.
I love you and I miss the Star family.
I know.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch the episode.
Okay.
But I'm watching you.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of my Love Island snippets, oh my Yeah. They
Well,
are giving me some cologne.
well, be caught up on Love Island because we're talking about it tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I should be able to pop in.
Yeah, you should pop in for that one.
Okay. Love you, Star Family.
Love you, Mama. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right.
Oh Lord, this show is my show. So ghetto, so ghetto. Hey Casey. Casey said Jeremy will continue to be this way, and unfortunately Bailey will stay. She'll eventually learn the hard way. Yep, because there's no consequences. We talked about it in the perfect match. These men have no consequences. They can be awful and to go, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, and the women will always take them back. They have no consequences. There is no reason for them to be a good person. They don't lose anything. They don't. They just gain a willing slave. He will never be a better person as long as there are women who will allow him to treat them like garbage and be a terrible human being, and they will still stay with him. You're right on time, always priceless. We love her. We do. Thank you, Ashley. Now I said, love you, Mama Star. Always priceless said, side note, the Not Without My Daughter reference in yesterday's live. They don't know, girl. That movie was wow. This is the thing. Shout out to 90s parents because y'all didn't know what y'all were doing. No way we all watched that as children. I remember crying my heart out when Sally Field was trying to board that plane with her daughter. Why did we all watch that? Like the stuff that we watched as kids back in the day. A mess. Eva Empathy said, let's like the video for Mama Star. Yes, show her and Nikki some love because this is the best show on YouTube. You're so sweet. Thank you. Jennifer said, Nikki, I love when you say, oh my God, today. Thank you, Jennifer. You watched it in school? The teacher probably didn't feel like teaching. For the, I don't know, Gen Z, I don't know if they still do it, but the best day in school used to be when the teachers wheeled that big TV in and you knew that it was a movie day. Because that just meant that the teacher was tired and didn't feel like teaching. So that must have been the day that you watched Not Without My. So I grew up in Philly. So I went to predominantly Black schools. And when I mean predominantly Black, I mean it was all Black kids, all Black teachers, and one ghetto Irish kid. And we called him White Boy Mike. White Boy Mike. I think he got I think he's on number 7. I think White Boy Mike got 7 mixed kids now. And got all his baby mamas tattooed on him, especially his neck. That's the first baby mama. Anyway, I told you I know what I'm talking about. Philly is an interesting experiment. Anyway, because I went to a Black school and I had Black teachers my entire schooling except for college, my teachers would have us watching In Living Color. We would be in class watching Jim Carrey Fire Marshal Bill impersonations. We were watching, I forget, Wayman? No, it's not Wayman. Do y'all remember the movie critics played by it's not Damon Wayans. Yeah, Damon Wayans. And oh my God, I know his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hated it. We were watching that in school. 2 snaps, a twist, and a kiss. Lord. The stuff we watched. Me and my mom on the couch crying. Holding our breath while she's trying to get that baby on the plane. Just scary. Not Without My Daughter starring Sally Field. Listen, everybody watched that as a family. Yeah, checked out. You knew. You said, oh, we ain't doing nothing today. Soon as they wheeled that TV in, you knew it was up. They put that movie on and they took a nap. And we watched whatever they had playing. Yep. In Living Color. I'm thinking about now as an adult, like, oh my God. Oh my, why were we watching In Living Color? And Around the World. That show could never be made today. That David Alan Grier. Oh, last thing. Do y'all remember when they were, I forget the names, but Damon Wayne's character, a piece of the studio fell on his head and knocked him out, and he was straight for like 5 minutes. That's what I watched in school. That's what I watched. OMG. E for Empathy said, my American history teacher had us watch Pearl Harbor. LOL. I went to Catholic school, so we didn't watch anything fun. I'm sorry. Oh, a classic. Absolutely. A classic. Susan said, one of my high school teachers would play records and we talk about the lyrics. Oh, no, that's actually a lesson. That's actually a lesson. E for Empathy said, I love that Jim Carrey credits the Wayne to his career. He's a real one. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Watching Living Color back then, you knew he was going to blow up. He was so talented. They all were so talented. I don't know. It's probably residuals. If a show that you like is not on Netflix, it's a residual issue. It really, really is. Yes, I watched Ferris Bueller in school as well. I watched Ferris Bueller. It was another show that I watched where the guy was like, he was a young cop, but he went undercover in like a high school to stop crime. And it was all I know is that one of my favorite songs was on the soundtrack for that movie. And I think it's Catch Me I'm Falling by Pretty Poison. Catch me I'm falling. I don't know. I think Jim Cryer was the lead in that movie. I remember watching that. And there's another movie that I watched that we watched in school. And it was a big deal because the lady, so y'all might know the name of it. There was a girl who had a crush on a guy, and she like went to high school undercover like as a boy, and like one of her really good guy friends liked her, and she was trying to, no, one of her, something happened with her guy friend or whatever, and she was trying to let them know that she's not actually a guy, and he wouldn't listen, and she opened her shirt and she was just like, I'm a girl. I will never forget that moment because everybody in class went crazy. I knew my teacher didn't watch that movie all the way through because when she revealed herself, we were like, ah! And my teacher was like, what happened? How she still kept her job, I don't know, child. The 90s was wow. The 90s were wow. I forget the name of that movie, but it was really popular. It was really popular. Hey, So Steph, thank you for being here. Spency said they were also funny. Even David Wayne's clown character. Homie the clown. Don't mess around. What's so funny? Homie, don't play that. She's the man. Yes. I will never forget that. Like everybody was like, ah! Yes. Oh, wait. No, She's the Man. You're right. She's the Man is with Amanda Bynes. It was just one of the guys. Just one of the guys. You're right. Amanda Bynes was She's the Man. Oh, was She's the Man a remake of just one of the guys? Probably. Oh, a great time. Take me back. Take me back. Angela said, yes, I remember that movie with the girl from All That. Yeah, but that's She's the Man. And I think that was Channing Tatum's first movie. Even if you said, I forgot just one of the guys. Yeah, I never forgot because of that one part. It's like buried in my mind. Megan said, we also watched Coach Carter and Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans was such a tear jerker. Spencer said, I love She's the Man. It was a soccer movie. It was good. It really, really was. It was a good movie, a good time. We had a good time, y'all. We had a really good time. And speaking of good times, I had a good time with you all as well. It's time for me to go because I got to get ready for reality TV chat tomorrow. And I'm doing a Love Island chat because there's so much happening with them freaking people. Like the show has been over. The show has been over for what? Over a month now at this point, right? Almost a month, or maybe a month to the day. And there's still so much going on. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about the reality chat. We're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami, the Real Housewives of Orange County. Ready for Love is back. And girl, I got some tea for you. And we're going to talk about Love at the Lockup. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow for 2 lives. Let me put the timestamps in this video, and then I'll put up the reminder for the next videos, and I will see you then. If you have any additional tea that you think I may not have about Love Island, please hit me up on Instagram. I'm trying to collect everything. I might have missed some stuff. Y'all just let me know. Y'all always keep me updated. It's so messy. It's so messy. Alandria and Shelley and Nicolandria, amazing. Amazing. Let's end the night with some likes. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Catch me on